Toasted in the moonlight, it's something sweet. Let it wash over all of me. With you I form my company, forever close to the unknown. There's no doubts and no regret. Happy before we get it. Another day to do it all again. Oh, throwing open all the curtains wide. Oh, not gonna miss a thing. Oh, nothing's promised to you in this life, but it's there for us to take. So live well before we break. We lay in the daylight under the old oak tree. It's simple, beautiful, it's all we need. Chasing the wonder endlessly, further into the unknown. There's no doubts and no regret. Happy before we get it. Another day to do it all again. Oh, we're throwing open all the curtains wide. Oh, not gonna miss a thing. Oh, nothing's promised to you in this life, but it's there for us to take. So live well before we break. Let in the sun. You don't know what you got till it's gone. Oh, let in the sun. All of the best yet to come. Oh, let in the sun. Don't know what you got till it's gone. Oh, let in the sun. All of the best yet to come. We're throwing open all the curtains wide. Oh, feels like home. We got no plans on where we're going. The open road feels like home. We got no plans, who needs them though? The open road feels like home. We got no plans on where we go. The open road feels like home. We got no plans, who needs them though? In the shelter, all we need is love. All we need is love in the shelter. All we need is love. All we need is love. It's a beautiful day at the beach. I was losing my mind for about a week until I could call you up. I'll meet you at the waterline. Birds are flying up above. We both need a little love. Hiding a million different things. Waiting for the nighttime to see what it brings. And I'm still living deep in my head. And sometimes I feel my
Hello there, folks! Welcome back to another episode of Fast Facts Live. I am your host, your quiz master of ceremonies, Dan O'Keefe, and it is a beautiful March day here in Los Angeles, and we are joined by a bunch of beautiful people here playing this game, Fast Facts Live. Thank you all for being here. I don't know what the weather's like in Milwaukee, so I'm gonna hand it over to our Milwaukee correspondent, the man that makes this show run, the producer, Tom Hillmeyer. Hi, Tom. How are
Hi.
you? How's the weather? How's the weather up there?
It's cold.
Hmm.
I was texting somebody today. I literally had my door cracked open, my screen door, my patio door, because
Yeah.
I'm like going to manifest that it gets warm out. Like-
Okay.
Because it was bright blue skies, birds were chirping, and I'm
Yes.
like, it's a little warm in my apartment. Yeah, I could crack a window. And then I got cold, and I'm like, I can't manifest being able to have my door open all the time.
You can't manifest
I
climate.
can't manifest spring to occur, knowing that spring will happen for officially one day this year.
Yes.
I believe that day is next Friday. It's supposed to
Okay.
be 70 degrees. Unless it already happened, but that was fake spring, because everybody knows the Midwest has like 8 seasons, like
Mm-hmm.
winter, more winter, fake spring for one day, and then more winter.
Yes.
And then there's one day of actual spring, and then summer for way too long, and then winter again.
Yeah, basically.
Construction's in there at one point. Yeah.
Construction's a global phenomena.
In the month of March, I've been able to go for a walk in shorts, and we had a foot of snow.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah. There's
That's
still some
Milwaukee.
snow on the ground.
I thought that you were going to say that you cracked a window, cracked your door open, like the way that I would crack a window in the winter, where no matter the temperature, when I was a senior year of college, what I would do is I would always sleep with my window open.
Mhm.
Whether it was 80 degrees out or 12 degrees out, I would go to sleep with that baby fully wide open. And then normally in the wintertime, I would wake up at around 2, having gone to bed at 11, shivering, freezing cold. I had tile floors. I had to walk from my bed to the window on these tile floors to close it to make up for my folly and ruin my sleep and then go back to sleep. And I would do this every night for an entire winter. I miss it.
Are you? Is it a short-term
I wish
memory
there was a
loss
way
thing?
to know that you were in the good old days before they become the good old days.
Now you live in a temperate climate where you can just have your doors open all the time and it's fine.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, thankfully I live in an apartment building where I literally don't turn my heat on because everybody else around me has their heat on and it just keeps my apartment warm. To the
walls.
point where there is some points where it gets to like 75 degrees in my apartment without the heat on, and I'm like, I do actually have to crack a window.
That's impressive.
It's great. Yeah.
Speaking of cracking a window, that's unrelated to the point that I'm going to say. Thank you all for being here. You've all played before, but as a reminder of the rules, we got 5 rounds, 5 questions each. You can double or nothing 1 round. And with that, if you get every question right and you choose to double or nothing it, you get double the points. But if you get even 1 question wrong, you lose all the points for that round. We have a Hail Mary question at the end where you can bet up to 10 points. Don't cheat, think fast, and have fun. The teams that we got signed up right now, we have Log and Chetty. Mom and Dad are back. The Washingtons. Solo Now Trio. And In the Living Room. You are all tied for first right now with 0 points. Let's see if that stays. Starting with round number 1. And round number 1 is frontmen. We're going to give you the names of bands, and you have to tell us who the frontman of that band is. And they're bands that are like name and the band. So just fill in the beginning. Question number 1, who's the lead singer of And the Silver Bullet Band? Who goes before the and? 20 seconds. I'm going to wait a little bit to see the answers roll in, because once I move on to the next question, you will not be able to answer for this one. So you've got to think fast and answer fast. Answer within the timer, because I am about to move on to question number 2. And question number 2, blank and the E Street Band. I wonder who this is. I like how most members of the E Street Band in the background are lined up by height in a parabola. A reverse parabola, I guess. It's fun. Question number 3. Blank and the news. Pretty bold to call your band The News. Did you hear the news today? Oh man, I did. Playing some rockin' tunes. Question number 4. Blank and the Heartbreakers. And question number 5. Blank and the Four Seasons. And that is it for this round number 1. Double or nothing. If you are a member of the Four Seasons. And now let's move on to round number two. Round number two, female firsts. First, the future is female, and the past was female too. Question number one. Who was the first American woman to fly in space? 20 seconds. This first woman to fly into space is not pictured in the background. This is a picture of, I think, the 2017 NASA astronaut class, which is just a very cool group that you can call yourself a part of. Let's move on to question number two. Question number two. Appointed at the age of 18, Mary Foy became the first woman named head librarian at what major U.S. city's library? 20 seconds. Like I said, you gotta be fast, you gotta be fact, and you gotta be live. We're moving on to question number three. Who was the first woman to win a Nobel Prize? Don't overthink it. I had assumed as a child that when you won a Nobel Prize, all you got was a medal. You get money with it too, which makes a lot more sense now that I know how things work. Question number four. Who was the first woman ever elected to Congress, serving 2 non-consecutive terms as a representative from Montana? 20 seconds. She is seen here, pictured in the background, standing in front of a flag. Question number five. Sharing a name with an actress from The Wizard of Oz, what American engineer programmed the flight software for the Apollo mission computers? 20 seconds. She is seen in the background of this picture, standing next to the code that she typed out. It is as tall as her. The past is incredible. That is it for round number 5, Double or Nothing. If you know all of the female firsts. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll have the answers for the first 2 rounds and more questions. Don't go anywhere. Heyo, we are back. Let's go over the answers for rounds 1 and 2. And just a quick note, there's more than one actress in The Wizard of Oz. But first, frontmen. Blank and the Silver Bullet Band, that is, of course, Bob Seger and the Silver Bullet Band. Who wants to go to Fire Lake? Have some Hollywood nights. What's the other major Bob Seger song that I'm forgetting right now? The world will never know. Question 2. Blank and the E Street Band. This is Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band. Blank and the News. Somebody call Huey, Dewey, and Huey Lewis and the News. I hope his middle name is Dewey, because then he would be Huey, Dewey, Louie. Question 4. Blank and the Heartbreakers. That is Mr. Thomas Petty and the Heartbreakers. And then lastly, Blank and the Four Seasons. Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons. Moving on to round number 2. Female firsts. Who was the first American woman to fly in space? That was Dr. Sally Ride. Appointed at the age of 18, Mary Forey became the first woman named head librarian at what major U.S. city's library? That is the city of Los Angeles. She was 18 when appointed, which is absurd. Who was the first woman to win a Nobel Prize? Marie Curie. Who was the first woman ever elected to Congress, serving 2 non-consecutive terms as a representative from Montana? That is Representative Jeannette Rankin. First in the early 20s and then in the 40s. Then lastly, sharing a name with an actress from The Wizard of Oz, what American engineer programmed the flight software for the Apollo mission computers? Not Dorothy, not Judy, it's Margaret Hamilton. Same exact name as the actress who played the Wicked Witch in The Wizard of Oz. That's it for the first 2 rounds. Let's move on to round number 3. In round number 3, movies by cast. We will give you the cast of the movies. You just have to say the name of the movie. It is that simple. Movie number 1. Spencer Tracy, Milton Berle, Ethel Merman, Mickey Rooney, and Sid Caesar are just the beginning of the massive cast of what epic 1963 comedy? 20 seconds. People, Tom was saying they need to make more movies like this. There are so many ways that you can take that. Large casts.
Big sweeping movie that's 3.5 hours long and massive cast and really well written. And
May I introduce you to a film called Killers of the Flower Moon, released last year.
it's very good. We should make more movies like that.
May I introduce you on a different route to a little film called Tar, based on the life of Lydia Tarr.
No, you may not.
Question number 2. Dan Aykroyd, John Goodman, Aretha Franklin, James Brown, and B.B. King appear in what 1998 sequel, seemingly released 2 years early? What's the movie? 20 seconds. That was a weird thing. I can't give anything away with the title of this movie, but it was a weird thing. Weird thing with the title and the timing. That's all I can say. That's all I can say. Let's move on to round number 2, question number 3. Nicolas Cage, Justin Bartha, Sean Bean or Sean Ben, John Voight, Harvey Keitel, and Christopher Plummer star together in what 2004 John Turteltaub picture? 20 seconds. Sean Bean has a name that frustrates me. Why is it not Sean Bean? They're the same except for the first letter. Or Sean Bon. Sean Bon, even. I would accept. I shouldn't.
Stay tuned. Dan argues with the English language. We will be here for 17 hours.
Turtle Tob. Next question. Al Pacino joins Clooney, Pitt, Damon, Garcia, Cheadle, Mack, Affleck, Kahn, Reiner, and Gold in what tresodecimal movie? Can't slip me up, Tom. Slight correction. Tom absolutely can slip me up because I said gold instead of Gould and tresodecimal instead of tridecimal. That's a win for the Tom man. Let's move on to the next question. The last one, question number 5. Jodie Foster, Matthew McConaughey, James Woods, John Hurt, Tom Skerritt, and Angela Bassett star in what Robert Zemeckis follow-up? In what film Bob Zemeckis followed up Forrest Gump with? I don't know why. That totally tripped me up. What's the name of the movie? 20 seconds. You know that there is actually a sequel to Forrest Gump in book form called Gump & Co.?
Really?
But the book, so Forrest Gump is based on a book. The sequel book, Gump & Co., is not a sequel to the book, it's a sequel to the movie. Because the events of the book and the events of the movie diverge and are different. So the author of the original wrote a sequel that just ignores the first book and pretends like the movie is the first book.
Because he now is like, nah, the movie was better than my book.
Dude's smart. That's it for round number 3, Double or Nothing. If you read the original Forrest Gump book, if you did, interesting choice. Let's move on to round number 4. Round number 4 is It's a Hoax! Famous hoaxes. Hoax number 1. In 2016, it was revealed that the 1976 New York Magazine article, Tribal Rights of the New Saturday Night, the basis for what 1977 movie, was entirely fictional, despite originally being published as non-fiction. What's the movie? 20 seconds. I love the picture in the background. That was what the cover of the New York magazine was. It's very fun. Question number 2. What hoax animal is described as a specific type of rabbit with antlers? 20 seconds. Maybe I'm too trusting, because I didn't realize that this was a fake animal until like a couple years ago. Like, that adorable picture in the background. Sure, that could be a real animal. I don't know. Why would I think it wasn't? I don't spend time around woodland creatures. Question number 3. Taro Tsujimoto is a fictional athlete in what sports league, having been drafted in protest of draft procedures in 1974? What league did the team that drafted him exist in? 20 seconds. That dude in the background looks terrified. And very 70s.
I mean, I would too if I was fictional.
He looks like he's watching Greg Brady do something dangerous in the background of an episode of The Brady Bunch. Next question. Landley International Airport is a fake airport with a real sign that you can kind of see in the background. In what country? 20 seconds. If I pronounced that first word wrong, I refuse to correct myself, because I will only make it worse. You could do this in your town if you wanted to. The story behind this is people just put up a sign as a joke on the side of the highway, and eventually people liked it enough that it stayed there. It was taken down at one point and then put up in a different location by landowners who were like, yeah, sure, you can do it, why not? So, be the hero that you want to see in the world. Question number 5. In 1998, what fast food chain put out a fake press release stating that they had purchased the Liberty Bell? I've been to the Liberty Bell. Have you been to the Liberty Bell?
No, I've been to Philadelphia like a handful of times. Never been to the Liberty Bell.
Eh.
I've watched National Treasure go to the Liberty Bell more than I've been in Philadelphia, and more times than I've been to the Liberty Bell.
That makes sense. It's fine. It's a bell. It doesn't look that much different in person than it does in pictures.
It's got a crack in it.
So does everyone. That's it for round number 4. Double or nothing if you've ever visited the Liberty Bell. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll have the answers to the last 2 rounds, and I won't mention cracks anymore, so don't go anywhere. Welcome back, everybody. You just missed Tom and I's off-air rousing discussion of communism, which you can listen to if you subscribe to our Patreon. Just kidding. You'll never hear what we talked about. But we do have a Patreon, which you can subscribe to at patreon.com/fastfactslive if you want to support us. You can also support us by buying our merch at shop.wearecreativeland.com or by following us on social media at FastFactsLive. But the best way to support us, as always, spread the word, tell your friends, tell your family, get more of them to play, more players, more fun. There's a new episode of In Conclusion coming out tomorrow, where we're talking about the talented Mr. Ripley. And then we have not put the schedule for when the next game will be online yet, but it will not be until April. At least mid-April, if not later. So just clear your calendars going forward.
Wow, that's so incentivizing, Dan.
You know? Just keep it clear. Well, I know we promised this and didn't do it, but we will post a schedule of upcoming games. I don't know how long that schedule will be or when we will post it, but we'll do it. I went to confession yesterday, so my soul is pure. So if I'm lying, I can't. That would be bad. I picked the wrong day to do it, so I have to be not lying. If Pinocchio says he will do something and then doesn't do it, does his nose grow after the fact?
Depends on if he gave himself a deadline or not.
But failing to follow through on something isn't a lie, technically.
Oh.
If you intended it to happen.
And it just didn't?
And it just didn't. Read my new book, The Philosophy of Pinocchio. Available only in little free libraries.
That'd be a pretty good... That's actually not a bad idea for a book.
It really peters out after the first 4 pages. I run out of ideas, and then I just fall asleep on the computer.
Pamphlet.
It's I just finished a book about the radical left in the 70s and 80s. It's a communique. They call all of their pamphlets communiques.
That's awesome.
I'm going to start calling all my emails communiques. Anyway, let's go for the answers for rounds 3 and 4. Starting off with round number 3, movies by cast. Spencer Tracy, Milton Berle, Ethel Merman, Mickey Rooney, and Sid Caesar are just the beginning of the massive cast of what epic 1963 comedy? They are in the cast of It's a Mad, 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 Mad World. Dan Aykroyd, John Goodman, Aretha Franklin, James Brown, and B.B. King appear in the 1998 sequel, seemingly released 2 years early. That is Blues Brothers 2000, which came out in 1998. Nicolas Cage, Justin Bartha, Sean Bond, John Voight, Harvey Keitel, and Christopher Plummer star together in what 2004 John Turteltaub picture? That is National Treasure. Al Pacino, My Eyes See Oppenheimer, joins Clooney, Pitt, Damon, Garcia, Cheadle, Mack, Affleck, Kahn, Reiner, and Gould in what tridecimal movie? That is Ocean's 13. And Jodie Foster, Matthew McConaughey, James Woods, John Hurt, Tom Skerritt, and Angela Bassett star in what film Bob Zemeckis followed up Forrest Gump with? Ladies and gentlemen, we have Contact. And then it's a hoax. 2016, it was revealed that the 1976 New York Magazine article Tribal Rights of the New Saturday Night, the basis for what 1977 movie, was entirely fictional, despite originally being published as nonfiction. That's the basis for the movie Saturday Night Fever. What hoax animal is described as a specific type of rabbit with antlers? That's a jackalope. Taro Tsujimoto is a fictional athlete in what sports league, having been drafted in protest of draft procedures in 1974. He was drafted by the Buffalo Sabres of the NHL in the 15th round or something. Langley International Airport is a fake airport with a real sign in what country? It is a fake airport in Wales or the United Kingdom. In 1998, what fast food chain put out a fake press release saying they had purchased the Liberty Bell? That's Dr. Taco. The Taco Bell. The Taco Liberty Bell. Let's move on to round number 5. It's our toss-up round. It could be anything, but it's me playing the bass. Question number 1. Jeffrey Skilling is the former CEO of what energy company which collapsed in 2001 after revelations of book cooking and not the tasty kind? 20 seconds. His brother, Tom Skilling, is the recently retired weatherman from Chicago and WGN News.
Seriously? They're related?
Seriously.
Oh, that's a lot.
Yeah.
One is a
Well, it's like-
beloved, a very beloved man, and the other one is very not.
Oh, it's kind of on a different scale. Skip Bayless, sports screamer, and Rick Bayless, noted restaurateur, loved in Chicago. If you have a brother that's loved in Chicago, things aren't going to go well for you. That's my takeaway.
Oh, good. None of
My
my
brother
brothers
lives in
are loved
Chicago. Oh, no. Question number 2. Joe is the musical pseudonym for Joe Keery, known for playing Steve Harrington on what Netflix show? 20 seconds. I'm whistling one of his songs. The End of Beginning. Came out in 2022, but it just got big on TikTok recently, and I like it. And the chorus mentions Chicago, and I'm in on anything that mentions Chicago. Question number 3. The bridge that collapsed in Baltimore was named for what American poet? 20 seconds. The whole bridge collapse saga is crazy. Just that boat is gigantic. Question number 4. What's the University of Miami's nickname for athletics? 20 seconds. Have you ever been to Miami?
I have.
What'd you think?
Not awesome.
Would you call it a party in the city where the heat is on?
No.
All night on the beach till the break of dawn?
No. And I went to a Marlins game.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Beautiful ballpark. Terrible baseball.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And what's funny is I saw a picture with the roof open recently, and I'm like, why is the roof never open? Because it's a beautiful ballpark when the roof is open, and it's just seemingly is never open.
It's wet.
It's wet and
Too
hot.
wet.
Yeah.
Question number 5. What card game is also the name of a spirit? Abe Lincoln's Ghost. No, 20 seconds. What is the name of the hand in this background picture, Tom?
What is it? Ace, 2, 3, 4, 5, but they're all different suits and all different colors. Is that just a straight?
I believe so.
I thought a straight needed to be all the same suit.
I asked you because I hoped you would know. I don't have the correct answer.
I think it depends on the game you're playing. Like in some games, that hand has no value.
In Abe Lincoln's Ghost.
But in Abe
has
Lincoln's
incredible
Ghost, that is the
value.
best hand you can have. You just
That's
won
it
the
for this
game.
round. Yeah, Double or Nothing. If you've ever played Abe Lincoln's Ghost, let's move on to the Hail Mary question. It could be anything. You have to place your bets first. If you want a category to place your bets, it's science. Good luck. Team that's at first has a pretty big lead right now, but they are not in a runaway. They still could be caught. So please place your bets. Get them in. If you're in second, maybe consider betting 10 or less. I can't tell you what to bet. That would be coercion. But we are just waiting on a bet from one team. And we will be good to go. Let's do it. Here's the question. What inorganic stable binary hydride has the formula NH3? Ha ha! Good luck. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Get your answers in, and then we'll see who won. And maybe you got it right, and maybe you got it wrong. That didn't rhyme, but I don't care. Case of a tie. I need your answers in for the Hail Mary first before we can move on to the tiebreaker, so I need you to get those answers in. Otherwise, we can't move on to the tiebreaker. I lost the plot of the song. We're waiting on answers from Mom and Dad and Solo Now Trio. Name and shame.
You're too nice, Dan. You've been giving him so much time.
Yeah, I know I have. I believe in them, though. They could do it. I've given you time.
I see that.
That's
They're
enough
in.
time.
Yeah.
Okay. Tiebreaker. In nature, how many chemical elements exist? That is it. That's all the questions. One final break. We'll come back with the answers. Don't go anywhere. Howdy doody. Back. Let's go over the answers and see who won. Starting off with the toss-up round. Jeffrey Skilling is the former CEO of what energy company, which collapsed in 2001 after revelations of book cooking? CEO of Enron. Joe is the musical pseudonym for Joe Keery, known for playing Steve Harrington on what Netflix show? That is Stranger Things. The bridge that collapsed in Baltimore was named for what American poet? That was the Francis Scott Key Bridge, author of the national anthem. What is the University of Miami's athletics team nicknamed? They are called the Hurricanes. And what card game is also the name of a spirit? It's gin. And our Hail Mary question. No one got this one. What inorganic stable binary hydride has the formula NH3? 3 goes below. And that's ammonia. That's what you're cleaning your glass with. NH3. Nitrogen, hydrogen, hydrogen, hydrogen. And how many chemical elements exist in nature? 94. Those are all the questions. Those are all the answers. Final scores. Starting off, skipping. Mom and Dad are back. And Log and Chetty. But thanks for signing up. In 5th place with 6 points, we have Solo Now Trio. In 4th with 10 points, we have In the Living Room. In 3rd with 12 points, Mom and Dad, the actual team. In 2nd place with 14 points, we have A Bit Late. Just think of how well you could have done if you got the first 2 rounds. I believe in you. And in 1st place, repeat champions with 18 points, the Washingtons. Woo! Congratulations for winning this week's episode of Fast Facts Live. Since you won, you get to pick between either a Creative Land Shop gift card and Amazon gift card or the official Cup of Champiosity. Thank you all for playing this week. A very special thank you to our patrons. And the biggest thank you of all to Tom for producing the show.
Thanks for hosting.
You're welcome. We will be back in April, and we will post a schedule of upcoming games on our social media. So be on the lookout for that. In the meantime, everybody stay safe, have fun, and enjoy your springtime. Hopefully it's nice where you are. Bye-bye.